What's good? We're back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast. Your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. Today, I'm going to react to a video of Stephen A. Smith giving his reaction to NFL, reacting to NFL players doing the Trump dance during their celebration. All right, let's get into it.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. The NFL says they have no issue with players doing the signature dance of President-elect Donald Trump during their on-field celebrations. Players like Nick Bosa from the Niners, Raiders tight end Brock Bowers, and Titans receiver Calvin Ridley are just a few of the players that have mocked the President-elect's signature moves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't seen Donald Trump's signature move, even though he's the one doing it right there, right now, at UFC,
I will say it's only a dance a white person could have made up that can't dance. I can tell you that much. Let's keep it moving.
C309 at Madison Square Garden this past weekend, one of, if not the greatest MMA fighter in history, John Bones Jones, did it after defeating Stipe Miocic in the third round there with Trump sitting ringside. You saw it right there.
Yeah, and I would like to see somebody criticize John Bone Jones to his face or try to prevent him from doing the Trump dance. I mean, the guy is literally probably the #1 fighter in combat sports. So unless you want to get your ass kicked, good luck with that one. Trying to criticize or tell him that he can't do a specific dance after celebrating his fight at the UFC. Let's get into it, though.
Let me tell you something. Here's why I'm pissed off. That the NFL had to even issue a statement about it. Because celebrations usually don't warrant that. It doesn't require a response from the league. So why was it necessary this time? You know why? Because we got a bunch of people still living with their heads in the cloud, acting like they get to protest every little damn thing.
Yep.
This is America. Donald Trump won the election. Rather convincingly, I might add. Now, I didn't vote for him. And I've been on the record stating.
And let me stop right there. Stephen A. Smith, man, it reminds me of that saying, a broken clock is right twice a day. It's like on one second, you just could tell that this guy pretty much aligns with conservatives and conservative views. He's a capitalist. Then on the other hand, he doesn't vote for Trump. Now, he didn't say he voted for Kamala, though, or Kamala, or whatever her name is. He didn't really say that. But it's like he's afraid to take a specific stance because he's afraid of what the black community is going to say, the backlash he's going to get. Let's keep it moving.
I'm not backing up from that. I didn't vote for him because I don't think he's presidential. I don't think his behavior, rather, is presidential.
Let me stop again. So, the other candidate who just clearly lies, can't answer a question, giggles about everything, that's presidential? This idea of what presidential is so bogus. They act like presidents are supposed to be nice guys or nice people. What's nice about blowing up a town to get to one terrorist and killing a bunch of innocent people in that town just because it might be the only time you could get to this terrorist? So let's just blow up the whole town. Screw if there's a bunch of innocent people in there. What's nice about that? I mean, people are so naive to think that a president's supposed to be a nice guy. The only thing they're supposed to do is provide the policies that they're going to try to attempt to achieve. And if they get elected, that's all they're supposed to do, is go through those policies that they named and try to check everyone off and accomplish every single one. And I can tell you right now, Nice guys aren't going to be able to do that. You think most CEOs are nice guys? Most people become billionaires by being nice guys? No, you got to have some asshole in you. You got to have some mean bones in your body. You know what they say about nice guys? They finish last. Like, people are so naive to think a president is supposed to be the nicest person on the planet. Get the hell out of here, man. That doesn't work in negotiations. I can tell you that much. Let's keep it moving.
I think the presidency is a statesmanship position. I think it's important to galvanize folks and to bring them together as opposed to contributing to divisiveness. But he won't.
Oh, gotta stop again. Once again, hypocrisies, hypocrites. Kamala was gonna bring us together. The political side that called the other side all racist and white supremacists and bigots and homophobes and transphobes, they're gonna bring the country together? Clearly, no. Clearly, they don't want the country being together. Clearly, they're intentionally trying to unravel the country because they hate this country so much, but none of them are really gonna leave like all these celebrities and actors and whoever, politicians saying if Trump gets back in office, I'm moving to Canada or out of America. But they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. They're hypocrites. Like, that's an hypocrisy to think that liberals and Democrats actually were gonna bring the country together. They're the reason we're divided. Let's keep it moving.
And I have no problem accepting the fact that he won fair and square in romp-like fashion, I might add. And he's worthy of being the president of the United States according to the voters. They have spoken. They spoke emphatically, not just in red states, but in blue states as well, in battleground states as well. He won. There's no...
And let's throw in the fact that she didn't flip one county. She didn't flip one county, and she primarily only won states that don't require ID to vote. Now let that sink in. Let that sink in. That she only really won, majority of states that she won didn't require ID to vote.
No debate. There's no controversy. There's no anything. He won convincingly. So to me, that says that the American people have made their choice. I got news for you. Football players are usually American people. So are basketball players. So are UFC fighters. They got a right to support who the hell they want.
And try telling a UFC fighter that they can't do a specific dance. Good luck with that one.
Without the league needing to send in a response. I didn't see a response from the UFC. You know why? Because Dana White wouldn't entertain it. Dana White would not entertain that. Because he don't play that nonsense.
And I can tell you this from personal experience, because I interview a lot of bare knuckle fighters. Most fighters are conservative. Most fighters are conservative. Even the female gay fighters, most of them are conservative. So, yeah.
He's going to support who he's going to support. He's not going to apologize for it, as most American citizens should feel free to do. And why am I ticked off? Because it was emblematic of the climate that we've been living in for years now, which is why I believe Donald Trump was really elected. Yeah, it was inflation. That was an issue. The economy, that was an issue. The border, that was an issue. But woke culture, cancel culture, oh, hell yes, that played a role. Where you got people walking around wondering whether or not they're echoing the right pronoun, wondering whether or not that was going to cost them their job.
And I'm glad he said that. Only conservative views were in jeopardy of losing their jobs. That's very unifying. That's extremely unifying. Hell no, that's divisive as hell. That only conservative people with conservative views were losing jobs over social media posts or supporting Trump or whatever. Just like mainly conservative content creators got strikes in their videos for misinformation or something they said politically, got their channels removed. Mainly conservatives. Same thing with social media, removing Donald Trump and Alex Jones and all these other conservative voices. You're talking about weaponizing the justice system. Well, not only did they weaponize the justice system, they weaponized social media and like literally having a political candidate or opponent removed off a social media platform because of something he said is pretty much like rigging an election. Let's keep it moving.
Or being PC because God forbid your opinion is different than the average folk walking around in America. Lord knows what would happen to you. That's what America regressed to. And because of that, I believe is a big reason why Donald Trump on January 20th will be inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States of America. I'll continue with that opinion in just a second, but I wanted to...
Yeah, I'm gonna end it off there, man. The number one reason I would say is the economy. And this is the thing that people fail to realize about Trump. Like, I give him a benefit of the doubt. Is on his first term, because he didn't really expect to win. He never was a politician. He didn't know what to expect when he got in there. He didn't know who he could trust. Any of that. Who was going to get the job done? Who wasn't going to get the job done? He didn't really... No, he was very, very new to this position. And after 4 years of sitting back, analyzing who's who can I trust, how do I do this, how can I do that, I think he could do a very better job. And I will say this. The first time he ran, I heard a list of policies he was trying to pass. I agreed with almost every one of them. I agree with him on most of this stuff that he's trying to push this time. Like sending money overseas to wars, that contributes to inflation. Allowing illegal migrants into the country, that contributes to inflation. But Democrats will have you believe that somebody who comes in here illegally is a law-abiding asylum seeker. If your first act into the country is coming here legally, you broke the laws. You're not law-abiding nothing. But even Stephen A. Smith is a broken clock and could be right twice a day. It just upsets me that he will say all this stuff that I agree with, and then he just has to say, hey, I didn't vote for Trump. Or, I took this stance, that's totally goes against everything he just said and just pretty much brings out hypocrisies. But once again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Paul Pickett Podcast. Peace, and I'm out.